3. Balance the chemical equation below. C6H12O4 plus O2 yield CO2 plus H2O. And we have 4 given choices to choose which of these is the correct balance equation. So here is the given chemical equation and we are asked to balance this one. So this is the reaction of an organic compound with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. This organic compound is an antiviral drug, ketoxyl or aldehyde. So to balance this equation, first we have to identify the reactants and the products. The reactants are at the left side and the products are at the right side. Next, count the number of atoms of each element in the reactants and the products. If the number of atoms in the reactants are equal to the number of atoms in the product, then they are balanced. If not, we have to balance them by adding coefficients. Okay, let's start with the carbon atom. In the reactants, there are 6 atoms of carbon. In the product, there is only 1. So, we have to place a coefficient before the carbon dioxide so that the number of atoms of carbon should be equal to that in the reactants. So, since in the reactants we have 6 carbon atoms, then we place 6 here. Okay. Now, the carbon atoms in the reactants and products are already balanced. Then for the hydrogen atom, in the reactants, there are 12 atoms of hydrogen, while in the product, there are only 2 atoms of hydrogen. So 12 in the reactants and 2 in the product. Then we place before the water molecule a coefficient that when we multiply it by 2, it should be equal to 12. So what number? So it's 6. So 6 times 2 is 12 for hydrogen. Then they are now balanced. Now for oxygen atom. In the reactants, we have O4, so 4, and O2. So 4 plus 2 is 6. While in the products, we have 2. Here, from your carbon dioxide, you have 2 times 6, so 12. So 6 times 2, 12, plus 6 here in your water. So 6 times 2 in carbon dioxide plus 6 in water is 18. So then the number of atoms of oxygen in the product is 18. While in the reactants, there are only 6. So what we are going to do is to add again coefficient before the oxygen, so that when you add that, when you multiply it by 2 and then add that by 4, it should be equal to 18. So what number are we going to place here? 2 times blank plus 4 equals 18. So that is 7. So 7 times 2 is 14 plus 4 here. So that's 18. Now they are balanced. So let's try to see. So carbon in the reactants, there are 6 atoms. Then in the products, so we have 6. Okay, we have 6. For hydrogen, so for hydrogen in the reactants, there are 12 atoms. In the product, there are also 12. So they are equal. For oxygen atom, so in the reactants, you have 4 plus 7 times 2, so 14, so 18. In the products, oxygen number of atoms, we have 6 times 2 is 12 plus 6 times 1 is 6. So 12 plus 6 is 18. So they are already balanced. The number of atoms in the reactants are equal to the number of atoms in the products. Then this is the correct balance chemical equation. And from the given choices, it is letter C681204 702. So it's letter D, the correct answer.